So a lot of people these days know vinyl records as those giant black discs that their parents listened to way back before computers. And those people are somewhat right in a cultural sense, but if you scratch the surface, you'll see that vinyl records are much more than they appear to be. It was all the way back in 1877 when Thomas Edison made the phonograph, a device capable of both recording and playing back sounds by etching small vibrations into wax, then using a needle that could follow the path of the etched vibration and amplify it into an audible spectrum. And while the phonograph was considered too crude for practical use, a decade later Edison refined the creation by laying the groundwork for the recording industry at the end of the 1880s. Based on the same technology, the gramophone would play rotating 5-inch discs off a spring-wound motor. Unfortunately, these discs couldn't hold up to the sound quality of wax and were really only good enough for toys and experiments. So how did these scratchy little discs become the modern records we know of today? Well, Eldridge R. Johnson, whose company later became part of RCA, developed a method of etching records with a much greater level of detail, and then later released 10 and 12-inch versions of these records. These started to edge out wax cylinders in both quality and, more importantly for this time, playback length. This started a back and forth war between Edison and Johnson on playback time, which eventually led to the development of plastic records. These were far less fragile and quickly won over the wax phonograph, consequently leading to the development of the LP, or long play record, many years later in the 1940s. It took a long time partially because of the Great Depression, but they did allow for more than 22 minutes of sound per side. Vinyl, however, has its disadvantages, and while significantly more durable than wax, it would still degrade very slightly with each playback, not to mention having to wind up a record player to keep the freaking spring motor spinning. These problems were solved soon enough. Original recordings would later be made into molds that could cast many, many more records from them, lowering the issues with record degradation. And as time went on, wind-up spring motors were replaced, logically, with electric motors. Needles started converting vibrations into electrical signals using electromagnets, and the large horn used to amplify sound was replaced with amplifiers and loudspeakers. These advancements brought records into a more modern era and helped them to survive to the present, where they're still being produced. But wait! Why are they still being made? Aren't there better digital media formats available that are way more convenient? Well, while vinyl might not be as convenient, like something like an MP3, it does have its advantages over digital. Vinyl has a sound signature that many audiophiles consider to be warm, engaging, and purer than the ones and zeros you find elsewhere. Vinyl also has a tendency to produce more natural, less harsh sounds, reducing fatigue from long listening sessions. And even with the cost of producing a physical record, vinyl is super cheap. You can actually find many modern artists releasing albums on vinyl at both mainstream retailers and independent shops. So if you're an audio enthusiast, you may want to give vinyl a chance. It might just spin your world right round, like a record, baby. Round, 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 round. Squarespace is a simple, powerful, and beautiful tool for building your website. They have 24/7 support via live chat and email, and it only costs $8 a month. That also comes with a free domain if you sign up for a year, so it kind of handles all the things that needs to be handled. They have responsive design, so speaking of things that need to be handled, it will look great on any device that you view it on. And they have different forms of applications that you can run, like commerce, so that every site that you have can have an online store, so you can sell something like a record. Oh, that segue. They also have cover page things, so if you just need one page that has like a cover page or resume on it, it can handle that very nicely. Or it has their more standard templates that has kind of multiple pages and all that beautiful stuff going on. You can start a trial with no credit card required and start building your website today. When you decide to sign up for a site on Squarespace, make sure you use our offer code, which is just Linus. It gets you 10% off. Squarespace! Build it beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you liked my crappy song reference joke thing at the end. Hopefully I got the lyrics right. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if I got them wrong. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike the video if you disliked it. Check out Channel Superfun up here. We do stupid crap over there all the time, but it ends up being usually pretty funny. So I don't know. I would check it out if I were you. In the comments down below, also let me know if there's anything else you'd like us to cover on Fast as Possible. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe and follow.